ever ask your parents a homework question and get blank stares?
What's the difference between a gamete and a zygote?
Don't fall for it, Claire. She's just making up words.
There are 3 types of memory. Immediate memory, short-term memory, and long-term memory. Immediate memory. Immediate memory is the ability to retain information for long enough to perform tasks and maintain a train of thought. Short-term memory. Short-term memory is the ability to retain and recall data for more than a few minutes. This may function as a middle ground between new information and long-term memory. Long-term memory. The type of memory that makes it possible to store information for a few months or as long as a lifetime. This is what the adults had to use for my experiment. Adults have taken standardized tests and 60% of them bombed. Many surveys have been given to both adults and kids, many of the adults flunking. In one of the surveys, the conclusion was that only 53% of the adults know how long it takes for the Earth to revolve around the Sun. Only 59% know that the earliest humans and dinosaurs didn't live at the same time. Only 47% can roughly approximate the percent of the Earth's surface that is covered with water, and only 21% of the adults answered all of the questions in the survey correctly. I asked the question, who will do better on a science test, adults or kids? My hypothesis is that the kids will do better because the information is fresh in their minds. My materials were 30 tests, an answer key, a correcting pen, and a phone to take pictures. I tested 30 people, 15 kids, and 15 adults. I gave them a science test on basic information like red blood cells, plate tectonics, and solids, liquids, and gases. When I put the test in front of the adults, the reaction I got almost always was, "Oh God, I don't want to do this," and complaining about things like lack of brain cells and not knowing any of it. On the flip side, the kids were mostly silent, which I thought was interesting, because the kids had an average of 4.96 out of 10, and the adults had an average of 7.73 out of 10. The adults' highest score was 10 out of 10, the kids' highest was 8 out of 10, the adults' lowest was 4 out of 10, and the kids' lowest was 3 out of 10. Also, not 1, but 2 adults got 10 out of 10. My hypothesis was wrong. I thought that the kids would do better because they just learned the information, but instead the adults did better. They actually surpassed the kids by almost 4 points. This is my data table displaying all my information and the adult scores, the kids scores, and the average scores in graphs. The adults might have done better than the kids because they have been around for longer, so they had more time to figure things out. Also, the adults might have had more motivation to keep up with the information. The kids don't necessarily want to learn. If I was to do the experiment again, I would get a broader sample of people, not just white people from Marin County. I would test different races, ethnicities, and income levels. This would make the results more accurate.